Alan Hahn and Wally Zerbiak. We really hyped this game up. Did we not?
Yes, we tried.
Very hard to explain what happened. I think the headline here is the Knicks and the Cavs now tied for third in the East, each with 22 losses, and the Knicks just didn't have it at all tonight, Alan.
No, if you'd never seen the NBA, didn't follow the NBA, and you attended this game and watched this game, and I told you after it was over, these were two of the best teams in the league, you would not believe me because neither team played well in this game, but somebody had to win it. Cleveland did less bad than I guess the Knicks did to take this win, but there's a lot of questions now to ask about the Knicks after this game.
Yeah, and Cleveland's not known as a great defensive team. The Knicks looked lost on the offensive end of the floor. They didn't know where they wanted to go, what they wanted to do. They weren't generating any type of flow or any type of rhythm. I think the Knicks are trying to slow the pace down a little bit since the All-Star break and since realizing that, you know, maybe our personnel isn't good to just run up and down and get in these high-paced games with other teams. But this was a slow-paced game. In this Cleveland game, they controlled it from start to finish. The only guy that showed up for the Knicks, 11 points, 15 rebounds for Mitchell Robinson in 19 minutes. That's putting in a day's work, but not too many other guys showed up.
There's a consistent theme here, and I apologize if I'm being repetitive. When the Knicks do not hit the three, it seems like it's really rough in other parts of the game. Knicks, Wally, 10 of 37 from downtown. They score only 11 points in the third quarter. That's the worst quarter they've had all year long. They were only down by 6 at the half after committing a season-high 12 turnovers in the first half. But that third quarter was a really third quarter of doom tonight for sure.
It really was. And, you know, Jalen was 6 for 19. So when Jalen's shooting a high volume of shots, trying to just make something happen for himself and also just trying to make a play for his teammates by breaking down a defender, using a screen and roll or something to get in the paint, make a play, he really couldn't really get anything going. And as a result, they couldn't really generate the greatest of looks. They had some looks that they missed in the first half. I thought they were able to play a little bit more in the flow in the first half. But that third quarter, I thought they were going to come out. They've been good in the third quarters and do something. And they didn't even show up in that third quarter. Only 11 points, worst quarter of the season. That was interesting the way they played in that third quarter.
Let's take a look at the third quarter, Alan. It was a great Cleveland defense. Missed open looks by the Knicks. What was it?
I mean, I guess you want to give a little credit to some defense, but you're just not seeing, you know, the right level of compete in a game like this of this magnitude. Although I guess, Wally, you tell me as a player, it's February, relax, right? But we see matchups like this and we think we should see the best of basketball. And, you know, surprisingly didn't, especially coming out in that third quarter. That's just a wide open three-pointer in bad transition defense. And there's been a lot of frustration, you know, with the Knicks when it comes to transition. But you're just seeing, like, what does Mike say, the second next play energy?
Yeah.
And there just wasn't enough of that in this game.
No, and you know, they had a day off. They were coming off the back-to-back. You probably prepared pretty hard for this team, and then you lay a complete egg in the second half. 40 points, 14 for 45. Just no one was helping each other get open. No one was making the game easier for each other. You know, the Carl Anthony, they didn't run it all. They didn't get any layups. They didn't create anything off their defense. Karl Anthony Towns, only 5 field goals, makes them all.
1 field goal attempt in the second half. 1.
And he had a smaller guy on him sometimes.
Like that's after the way he's been playing.
I know.
You would think.
He had 5 straight games, guys, with at least 20.
I know.
Yes, like okay, we don't have it going here. Let's get this guy the ball. Let's figure out how this guy's got to touch the ball. He's got to have more than one shot. And you know, again,
I don't know how to explain.
I don't have answers.
I really don't. I just know, as a former player, I would not have let that happen. If I was Karl Anthony Towns.
And you're losing. And
I would have shot more than 5 times. He made all 5, credit to him.
Yeah.
So maybe he doesn't want to break the offense. Maybe he doesn't want to do anything, you know, and every dynamic is different on a team. But if that was me, coming off 5 straight, I would have shot more than 5 times.
Did you ever shoot only 5 times in a game, Wally?
I did.
No,
I did.
No.
But Towns is like an all-star. He's like the second leading scorer on the team. He's got to demand, like, making an impact on every single game. And I understand it's tougher for big guys because they don't have the ball in their hands. They need to get it on their spots. They need to fight for position. It's tough to get them the ball. It's a lot more difficult for the NBA game is tougher for big guys to dominate than a guard who's handling the ball out front the whole entire time or a wing. But at the same time, like, I mean, Cat, like, you're too
Now-
good. And he made all 5 shots.
especially
If I
early.
made all 5, I'd be like, I'm chucking my next 5.
Well, early in the game.
To see if I'm going to be 5 for 10.
But right, exactly. But shoot until I miss. But early in the game, it looked like there was something happening with him, right? He was 4 for 4 in the first half.
Yeah.
A couple of times diving to the basket, a couple of times at the rim. But you're right. It's like the old way, and a lot of us old heads will go, just get down on the block and post up. That's not really how the game is played today. So you have to find a way to get it in the flow. It's just remarkable that an offense that was struggling this much couldn't get more than 1 field goal attempt in the second half. And just to point out again, like defensively for the Knicks, while they lost big, they gave up 49 points in the second half. Like, I don't think defense was the problem here, right? Like, offense was the biggest issue, and that second play, that next play energy that they have been really good at, that was lacking in this game. There's a lot of questions for Mike Brown after this game.
Let us point out, Cat coming into this game off his best stretch of the season.
Oh,
Yeah,
5 straight
that's
games,
the surprising
5 straight
part.
games with at least 20
Exactly.
points.
Exactly the point.
Like, he's on a heater.
So-
And all of a
somebody's gotta
sudden,
recognize it.
like, someone just, whoosh.
Yeah, dump water on it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Donovan Mitchell led Cleveland with 23. Thrilling moment brought to you by FanDuel Casino. Get your thrill on. Even though he scored 23, guys, Mitchell didn't shoot very well, and neither did James Harden. We have Mitchell going 5 of 18, Harden 8 out of 18, but it was good enough.
He got to the free throw line a ton, Donovan Mitchell did, which is he's so good and he's so strong going to the basket. And I think for him, that's been the thing now. I think he can get to the basket more, right, Wally, with James Harden, because he's playing off the ball a lot more than he was before.
Yeah, he can just dial it in and look to be aggressive every time he touches it. He's such a gifted scorer, such a great athlete. 14 free throws.
Yeah.
The Knicks, they talk about playing defense without fouling. That's a big problem when you send a guy like him to the line that many times. That shows you really couldn't guard him. When you're fouling that much, that shows you just, couldn't keep him in front and couldn't make anything happen to stop him and slow him down. So, that was just a surprising one because now they're tied in the standings. Whatever.
Knicks do own the tiebreaker because even despite the loss here, Knicks do win the season series
and if
2-1.
you're Cleveland also, you're down 0-2. You got the Knicks on your home floor. You're thinking to yourself, I'm not losing this game. We're not losing all 3 games to the Knicks in the season series. So they came out with a little bit more of an edge, and they definitely took.
It just felt like the game was there. Like the Cavs did not play a great game.
No, they didn't.
They did just enough.
Yeah.
And so, again, that's why the frustrating part of it is you're watching it from a Knick perspective. You're watching this game thinking they could be had.
But that's where I think the
could beat
Cavs
this
are
team
getting
tonight.
a little bit better defensively. They make you a little more uncomfortable than they used to. They used to just want to play
It was up and down.
a complete rat race game and try to outscore you. And they were never a good defensive team. But with Mobley and with Allen, they can control a little bit the tempo of the game. And that's what it looked like they did to the Knicks. They didn't allow the Knicks get into any easy baskets to get them feeling good about themselves.
Even when they tried to run, the Knicks, Mike Brown wants them to get out and run, get opportunities, especially when you get turnovers, get out and run on a miss, get out and run. Early in the game, they were trying to get out and run, and it was, there were turnovers left and right. They had 12 turnovers in the first half, and a lot of it was just mishandling the basketball, making tough decisions with the basketball out in transition. But I agree with what Wally said, that this was definitely the Cavs controlling the tempo and forcing the Knicks into half-court offense. And you saw that's really how things got stagnant.
All right, so the updated standings in the Eastern Conference, off the top, we mentioned the Knicks and the Cavs each now with 22 losses, tied for third. Don't forget about the Raptors, and of course, both teams very close to the Celtics.
By the way, Boston, so it's 3 in the loss column there, right? So
no, 4.